Hey everybody, it's the Mad Master here, doing a quick video, trying to get back into doing videos after a couple days here. So I'll probably be doing a bunch in the next 3-4 days. So this one is, I titled this Seroprevalence, the Forbidden Subject. And basically what I mean by that is it's kind of a play on words with the, there was a movie in the late 80s with Charles Bronson called Ginjite, the Forbidden Subject. And so it's kind of a play on that. But I think nowadays with the virus stuff, a lot of people are avoiding the obvious possible factor that's going on, and that is what's known as seroprevalence, you know, with SERO word prevalence is happening. And I think it's because of the way that the, you know, cancel culture, and we can go into some conspiratorial territory as well, if you wish, has happened with regards to this, and how it's been politically divisive, has brought us into this, where we're going around now, is where we are seeing that possibly the lowering of cases is a result of, you know, only about 5% of people have been vaccinated in the United States, or 10% or something like that. We're seeing that, but we're seeing, you know, a huge, steep decline, steady decline in cases. And, you know, this even with all these variants that are purported to be spreading. So, and we'll have to see about that in the next month or so. But it seems to me is that if this is a forbidden thing to talk about, and let's look at the Atlantic article I posted in that previous video about this. You know, it's like the media is like, well, I guess I'm going to have to use this term, seroprevalence. It's the politically correct term for, dare I say, the bad word that people are dreaded grandma killing Trump supporters by using, herd immunity. And what that means is that a certain number of people, I'm just going to use the old school Wikipedia definition that's been on there probably since Wikipedia started, for fuck's sake. But as obvious, like, the big pharma has influenced this, I believe, you know, as far as in the political culture at large. You know, I'm going to go into some of my ideas about this in future videos about what's going on with some of this, which I risk, of course, but, you know, I've seen people do a lot of videos without getting the ban hammer, or, you know, ratioed, or whatever you want to call it. So, or censorship, I should say. So basically with regards to, you know, we can say that reliably that this could be going on. We could have, what is happening is that, like what happened with Spanish flu, is where enough people get infected and they're more immune, at least for a while. There's some lasting immunity, so they're not getting reinfected. And that's why cases are going steadily down, along with other things. Maybe the vaccine has a small part in that, but it definitely doesn't have the part that people think, or the media will tell you, at least right now. You know, down the road, maybe. But right now, no, it's definitely because of possibly that dreaded word, seroprevalence, which they can still say. They'll still sneak it in these articles. They'll still say, oh, this could have a factor. It's just like the two articles I read. It's like one doctor did basically admit it, but it was like weaseled in between the paragraphs. So I think it's a sad state of affairs where we can't talk about these things because, you know, the political alliances that have been coming up with this. Like if you talk about seroprevalence, aka herd immunity, I know that they're not the same thing exactly, but it's basically, you know, you could say seroprevalence is herd immunity, looking back on it from you know, a future event, you know, a future time, you look back at seroprevalence, and that is herd immunity. As far as the result of it, I know it's politically incorrect. It's a sad state that we can't talk about this in a realistic and reasonable fashion. Not faction. There are factions, but so it's sad. But I think that's what's going on, possibly. You know, with regards to the cases going down, there's enough people that have been infected that we're now seeing some of this, and we're going to see it continue to happen, to continue to decline, especially if the two things. If there's actual immunity to some of the variants because of seroprevalence, or because if the vaccine actually works with regards to that. So, but you'll see people censored and questioned for talking about this, of course, and they'll try to backtrack and say, well, maybe it has something to do with it. They'll have to, maybe they'll finally have to admit it once the vaccine's administered enough to people. They'll start saying that, oh, the cases are down to April levels now. Well, I guess maybe there was some herd immunity already there. Oh my God, what a novel concept. Oh, we can't talk about that, but oh, we'll admit it. Just like a lot of the bullshit that they've admitted. So that's about all.